Tesla has fallen to a price of $180, breaking the $182 support predicted by the Bank of America. So is this a good time to buy? Keep watching as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, Tesla is recalling about 30,000 Model X vehicles manufactured between 2021 and 2023, stating an airbag issue. A filing revealed that in an accident where the vehicle speed is low, the airbag might get deployed incorrectly, causing damage to the front passenger. Next up, a Tesla Model S caught fire on the Pennsylvania highway, and firefighters used a massive 12,000 gallons of water to put the fire out. The lithium battery was the main reason behind this problem because normal vehicle fires take less than 1,000 gallons of water to extinguish. Apart from this, executives from Tesla have said that Elon Musk has chosen someone to replace him as the CEO, and this news, of course, did not make investors happy because they see Musk as the company's true leader. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Tesla, and as you already know it, we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off, we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, we can see that as I already told you in the previous part of this video, the stock has broken the $182 support which was given to us by Bank of America. Well, not exactly a support, but this was probably the level that they were eyeing the stock to go to, right? So will the stock go further below? I personally doubt it, right? When we talked about the Bank of America analysis in our previous video, we also told you guys that they think it's probably the bottom, right? So 182 in most analysts' opinion is the bottom for the stock, right? Even though it is good to know that things might get worse from here, right? But in my opinion, the stock is definitely a good buying price right now, not financial advice. But if we look over here as well, we have no signs of a further bearish trend, right? Of course, it is a bearish trend, right? We currently are in a bearish trend, but I don't personally see any candlestick patterns except this one, which I believe already got exhausted out, right? We got a pin bar candle on the downside, which was red, so this indicates bearish momentum. But over here, we can see that, we got this candle, which indicates good buying pressure because we have a large, wick on the bottom side. So this actually might cancel this trend out, but I'm not exactly saying that the stock will go bullish from here, since we already know that Tesla is being surrounded by a lot of problems at this moment. So I personally would probably guess that the stock would go down a bit more before recovering. And of course we already know that market problems are seemingly sorting out now. So inflation is kind of getting a slow growth now. It is growing still, but we can see that after October's report, the growth has kind of slowed down, right? Also, mortgage rates, they're kind of slowing down, and everything in general is just recovering slowly but steadily. So, do I think that the stock will go up in 2023? Most probably, yes, right? We, of course, were warned by Elon Musk himself that the markets will see a recession until 2024, but I personally disagree with that a bit. And why is that so? Well, first up, I do believe that the stock will probably go down all the way around $160 before it can, go up again, right? I'm not exactly saying that the stock will continue to go down, right? It might get a small recovery, go down again, get a recovery, go down again, but it will eventually touch the 160, 167, $168 level. So let me mark that out for you, $168. I believe that we'll first touch this level before we can see any signs of recovery. And of course, we also have the earnings report for the fourth quarter, I believe, at 25th January 2023. So that will take quite a lot of time. And in my opinion, Tesla will probably have a price target. First up, Kathy Wood, yes, she said that the stock has a price target of $1,600 for 2026. But I personally wouldn't be waiting or even analyzing for that big of a period. So I think that a price target of somewhere around $300 should be good for the 1 year period, right? So that does indicate that it might be a smart choice to buy the stock over here. So you can enjoy like 60-65% gains in a single year. But also, it's important to note that I could be wrong. So, of course, this is not financial advice. But to analyze the stock further, let's quickly jump on into the 1-hour chart. So now that we're in the 1-hour chart, we can see that over here we've seen a somewhat of a descending bearish trend, right? We peaked somewhere around here at what was this level? Around $200, right? That's a pretty obvious resistance considering the psychological effects, of course. So, of course, fell down, getting a support around 192. After that, again, we fell down, getting a support this time around 186. The next support was around 180, which was pretty obvious. And now the current support lies around 177. So what's going on? What's going to happen on Monday? In my opinion, we should probably get a gap down. Now, that is not exactly a bad sign, but of course, if we look over here, we've been continuously getting not exactly good gap ups, but of course we did get a gap down over here. But we've been seeing some selling trend, and this red candle that ended the day off after a small bull run does indicate a potential sell-off on Monday's pre-market. Now we will analyze the aftermarket as well in the 5-minute chart, but there is some time for that, and we'll probably see whether the stock already completed that pullback on the aftermarket or not. If not, then we'll probably see that happening on Monday. But of course, if we were to get into some more details, we can see that, well, ever since 31st October, or rather 1st November, the stock has been falling, and we've already fallen by somewhere around 24-25%. And I do expect the stock to, take that all the way down to 30. So as I already told you, we'll get to 168, 165, somewhere around that level. And why is that important? Because of course, the stock needs to, kind of set well within the entire market before it can, get ready for a pullback, because that has always been a problem with the Tesla stock, considering that it's a volatile company in general, right? They have new generation ideas. Of course, they have new generation products and new generation buyers as well. So that does set them apart from the market, but they still need to fill up that gap if they want to, benefit from the rally that will come after this recession period. With that, I don't really think there's much left in the 1 hour chart, so let's quickly jump on into the 5-minute chart so we can see the big details. So as you guys can see right here now in the 5-minute chart, and over here, first up, we can see that we started the day off with an aggressive sell-off, and we got somewhat of a double bottom around 177. Right after that, of course, we got a double top at 179.7, which is rather an odd level. Not exactly that, somewhere around 179.65. So let me move that down a bit. And of course, we did see a resistance around 179 as well. That is pretty obvious. We did see another resistance around 178.6 and some support around 177.75. Some more resistance, or rather support in this sense, at 178.3. Now, this is the interesting part. As you guys can see, the volume went up, right? The volumes went up in the ending hours, but at the same time, we can see that the stock was rather range bound, right? So this might indicate the fact that we might get a big gap down or gap up on Monday, right? So we usually don't see this stuff on Fridays because markets don't really give their data away like this, so you really have to dig deep into this. But this is just some plain and simple data. So this just indicates that all of the buying and selling pressure was rather, what can I say? It was pretty much just equal, or if not exactly equal, just around equal numbers. So that caused the stock price to stay around this range. But of course, we'll have to see the aftermarket if we want to see what exactly happened. And as you guys can see, we already completed the pullback in the aftermarket. So we're down to a price of $179.33 on the aftermarket. Now, what does this indicate for Monday? Let's see. So there are two scenarios, of course. First one, we could of course continue this bearish trend straight away, right? Because I already told you that I'm short-term bearish on the stock. And or the other way, we could probably get a small recovery, get a gap up somewhere around here, get resisted here, and then continue with the bearish trend. But of course, the news factor will play a huge role, as well as the entire market performance on that day. So I'm not exactly sure where this is headed, but as I already told you, I'm really eyeing the 165, $168 range for the stock. And I'm probably, I'll probably start buying some shares around this range as well, because this, in my opinion, is a good opportunity to get in on the stock, of course. I don't really hate the company, but I will say that it's a bit, what do you call it? a bit overrated, right? Not exactly overrated, but most people think that the Tesla stock will fetch them 100x gains, which, well, 5 or 10 years ago it would have been true, but not at this particular point. The max it can get you is probably like at this price 5 or 6x gains, right? Even 7x gains might be true in some cases, but expecting that it will give you a 50x return is just crazy, right? It's not exactly possible. But with that being said, again, I could be wrong. So remember that this definitely was not financial advice, and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel, Stocks 101, for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.